So am I hopping? Am I hopping quick escape? Or am I doing before?
Yeah. And then we're gonna, even if you can come by me by this way, so don't walk exactly that way. Once you kind of walk by, just come right by me this way.
Okay, that way.
Yeah. Recently, I've decided to embark on a journey with this girl right here, Francesca Panetta. She's an insanely talented artist who is about to make big waves. I decided to take up a challenge to make her 3 music videos for 3 of her songs that will be on her upcoming EP and make them as best as I could, with virtually no budget. So far, we've filmed 2 of them, and we couldn't be happier with the results. As we get ready to plan the 3rd and final video to be shot later this month, I'd like to take the opportunity to discuss how we went about creating the first of these 3 videos for her song titled Bad Idea. And before I dive into everything, make sure to follow Francesca over on Instagram and on Spotify to check out her music. She's got such an amazing voice and she's super talented, so please go show her some love. It would be much appreciated. And with that, let's start right at the beginning. So Francesca and I had a couple of FaceTime chats to go over the basic concept and ideas. We decided that we wanted to just show her having fun and be confident to go with the tone of the song. But ultimately, she left it up to me to decide the visual aesthetic of the video. That's when I searched high and low until I found the perfect filming location, the Studio North in Perri, Ontario. We booked it for a full 8 hours, thinking it would be plenty of time, and got everything ready to shoot. As it always seems to happen come shoot day, I was running about 30 minutes behind. I tend to overpack all of my gear and never end up using even half of it. As usual, I brought too much gear and equipment with me. I didn't use even half of it, but nonetheless, I spent way too much time packing up everything I own and hit the road for my hour-long drive. Once we got on location, everything was as great as expected, although the space was a little bit smaller than I was thinking, and there was no air conditioning. So we knew it might be a bit more difficult than we had thought to film this video, but we were up for the challenge. As I looked around the space, the flow for the video quickly came to me. We decided that we were going to do a lot of long takes, moving from spot to spot in continuous takes, so setting up lights would be next to impossible. So I pretty much decided to light almost exclusively with natural light. Luckily, there was a ton of natural light from all the windows in the space, and there were even big windows at both ends of the space, so we were covered pretty much from all angles. A few times I had to have our handy assistant Roberto hold up a big black curtain to add some negative fill to just help get a bit more contrast to the image and add a little bit of darkness to one side of Francesca's face in certain shots. And I believe for one shot out of the entire video, I had to add a little extra light to one half of Francesca's face while adding some negative fill on the opposite side, since the main window light was coming in from in front of her and the image was too flat looking. So I just simply had the amazing Kristen hold this Godox TL30 light just out of frame. Other than that, we powered through the heat, doing take after take after take of the same exact thing to nail our movement and performances. And then we got our last shot on only a couple of tries, and it was time for a wrap. How do you think it went?
It was awesome. So much fun. And Francesca is just incredible. So it was amazing.
How'd it go?
So good. I love it. I'm so happy.
Roberto?
It sucked. I'm just kidding. It was amazing.
After another long drive home, I got home at around 11:30 p.m., unpacked my gear, dumped all my footage, and got started editing. What? It's not like I value my sleep or anything. And with that, it's time to show you the final cut of this music video. Check it out.
Sunny days gestured on your face while I can see the light inside my own eyes. I look into the mirror just to find that I can't see her anymore. She's walked right out the door. Looking at you in this light, I don't mind it. Maybe this time I won't try to hide it. I think I need a bad idea, just a one-time thing, and you seem like the kind of guy who's into that sort of thing. A quick escape from the wilderness that is my mind. Would it be okay if I called you up to expectations that weren't even mine. All of these other people in my life I let get inside. Why did I? Looking at me in this light, I don't mind it. Maybe this time I won't try to fight it. I think I need a bad idea, just a one-time thing, and you seem like the kind of guy who's into that sort of thing. A quick escape from the wilderness that is my mind. Would it be okay if I called you mine, even if it is just for tonight? Tonight I wanna break free. Yeah, I just wanna be me. It seems so easy. So why is it so hard? Oh, 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 oh. I think I need a bad idea, just a one-time thing, and you seem like the kind of guy who's into that sort of thing. A quick escape from the wilderness that is my mind. Would it be okay if I called you mine, even if it is just for tonight? For tonight, would it be okay if I called you mine, even if it is just for tonight?
Well, I hope you enjoyed the music video that you just watched. It was a ton of fun to make, and I'm really happy with how it actually turned out. It had been a long time since I had been on set, on location filming, and I'm not gonna lie, I was quite nervous going into the shoot. Although I am confident in my own abilities, I'm sure you know what it's like when you haven't been doing something for a long time to feel a little bit nervous about jumping right back into it. But once we got there, I just was in full-out production mode and everything just kind of came back to me, and I just feel absolutely fantastic about how it turned out. My biggest concerns were actually nailing the focus because I was using manual focus lenses and I didn't have a focus puller. I was doing the whole thing myself. So I was worrying about having to get the right movement and motion, get the blocking right, so making sure that Francesca was in the right spot, making sure I was in the right spot to film a specific part of the video. So while doing all of that, as well as making sure I was directing her properly and paying attention to what she was doing in her performance, I had to make sure I was nailing my focus. So luckily I had a great small crew with me. Kristen was fantastic as basically a producer or assistant director. While I was paying attention to other things, she would always jump in and say, "Hey Francesca, can you try this? Can you do that again?" So that was a huge help having Kristen on board to be, like I said, an assistant director. And that brings me to the gear. Let's quickly discuss the gear I used for this shoot. My camera of choice was my favorite new camera, the Sony FX3. I paired it with the SLR Magic Micro Prime Cine 35mm t1.3 lens. When buying this camera, I almost went with the Sigma 24-70 lens, but last minute decided it was time for me to grab a couple of Cine lenses, and these SLR Magic lenses just seemed perfect. Although they were fully manual focus lenses, I went with them because they just have this overall dreamy and beautiful quality to them. I'd always strived to achieve a more film-like look with my productions, and since getting these lenses, I've been able to achieve that look much more easily. Francesca told me from day one she really likes the more vintage, film-like look, so these lenses were the perfect choice for this shoot. I didn't use any diffusion filters on my lens this time, even though I pretty much always shot with them when I was using my old camera, but I didn't have to use that this time because these lenses have their own character. I also didn't use any gimbals, I shot everything handheld. I did use in-body image stabilization, but I really did want the overall handheld look to the video, so using IBIS with the camera in a full-out rigged out setup helped get that more stable looking handheld look. Which, by the way, looks great on this camera because there's no visible rolling shutter. Hallelujah, my old camera had a ton of rolling shutter and it was just disgusting, so this camera is fantastic for that. Alright, so moving on to my final thoughts and what I would have changed. Overall, I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I think Francesca is too. I'm very happy with the overall look. Like I said, I was striving for this more film-like look, and I was a little concerned that shooting with the Sony FX3 was going to have this very clean, clinical digital look to it, since the camera is such high quality, and I feel like there's like absolutely no noise in any of the shots. But using this camera in combination with the lenses I mentioned, as well as a little bit of touching up in post-production in my color grade, I was able to nail that more vintage film-like look without going overboard. I did use some LUTs from Phantom LUTs to complete the look, which I did also do some fine adjustments and fine-tuning too, but I just really think everything all came together beautifully, and I'm very, very happy with the overall look. And I don't really think I necessarily would have changed anything so much as I wish I hadn't underestimated how much time this shoot would take. I thought it was going to be fairly simple and straightforward, and we almost opted not to do a full 8-hour rental of the space, instead going for 4 hours, but we really did need the entire time there. Once lunchtime had hit, we had already been filming for a while, and we realized we were only about 1/3 of the way through the song, and I still had so much more to film. We were obsessing over getting the absolute perfect take for everything we were shooting, and I'm pretty sure we did about 15 takes or so of the first long shot of the whole video. After spending that much time on only 1/3 of the song, we realized we needed to kick things into high gear, so we were much more focused after lunch for the rest of the day. But nonetheless, it made things a bit more stressful, especially battling with the heat of the space. But I had an absolute blast filming this music video for Francesca, and everyone on our small crew was just downright amazing. It truly was a passion project for us all, and everyone gave it their all when making this video, and I really do think it comes through in the final product. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of how I filmed this music video, all with virtually no budget. It would be much appreciated if you would hit that thumbs up button down below if you like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of you watching my videos are not subscribed, something like 95% of you, so it would be a huge help if you would subscribe to my channel. As always, I'm Perri, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!